Welcome to all on Women Dialogues. And I'm your host Shashi with you all to create more voice for women and by women. And today's our guest from Dominica, a small Caribbean island. And with us, she is Marieke. She is originally from Netherlands, but she has very interesting story to share with us, her experiences, how she is living, how she has founded her passion, how she is a founder of her foundation, and at the same time she is a very famous writer. So let's welcome Marieke on this platform and hear what she has for her, for us, as well as from her life, from her passion, and how she is, uh, developing her passion further in this age. So welcome Marieke on this platform.
Thank you so much for having me, Shashi. I'm really happy to be here.
So, Marieke, as I am aware and I was reading about your work and all, it's really interesting. And I would like you to share with our audience and viewers how you found your passion and your interest, as originally you are from Netherlands. So let's just start knowing about your life journey and coming on your foundation, on your writer, or all those points further. So please share about
Okay.
your life journey.
Yes, well, I was born in the Netherlands and I moved to Dominica 4.5 years ago. Before that, I worked in the financial sector, which is really different from what I'm doing now at the moment with my nonprofit. I originally moved here for love, but that ended 3 weeks after I moved here. I ended the relationship. I spent a very lonely Christmas and New Year's high on a mountaintop in bad weather, contemplating whether to go back to the Netherlands or to stay. But I had already been here so many times and I love the island. I hate winter. And the people are really nice. Dominica is very beautiful nature-wise, so I decided to stay. And then the next year, that was 2017, I had to travel back and forth to the Netherlands because both my parents died within 12 weeks apart. And when I was in the Netherlands for my mom's funeral, a Category 5 hurricane destroyed my island, so I could not go back. And because I wanted to do something, I started a non-profit to help rebuild the island. But when I finally came back to Dominica after 4 months, I started working with organizations that were here to help, like UNICEF and International Medical Corps and United Nations. And I saw that a lot of children had gone through the trauma of the hurricane. And UNICEF was building what they call child-friendly spaces. Those are big tents in villages where children come so their parents know where they are because they had to rebuild and clean up and stuff like that. And then I thought, how nice would it be if that would be something permanent, because UNICEF leaves after the situation in the country is more or less normal. And a very long time ago, I did volunteer work in Costa Rica, and that sort of clicked. I wanted to work with children and I wanted to do something with creativity. And that's where the idea started. I started contemplating, how do I do that? What do I do? So the first thing I did was build a website because I didn't know not that many people on the island. Remember, I ended my relationship, so I was more or less by myself. I started volunteering with a little preschool and with a local nonprofit, and especially the last one, the lady introduced me to so many people. So gradually I got to know more people and they were enthusiastic about my idea. And once the website was set up and the foundation was really registered in the Netherlands, I started running the program all by myself.
Right.
It's amazing. It's very tiring because you have like 12 children between 6 and 12 years old who all want your attention. And
Wow.
but it's nice. I'm on my third program now. I'm hoping to find a building eventually, because now a school is still hosting me in one of the empty classrooms.
Right.
But yes, that's what keeps me busy, and I love doing it. And I see small steps. I mean, children make little progress because
Right.
besides the trauma of the hurricane, there's a lot going on here for children: abuse, neglect, domestic violence. So children have a lot on their plate here, which is really sad.
Mhm. And when we are talking about developing your interest and passion from all the way from being finance background, then but finding interest with children and especially helping those small children and their development of education or developing those programs, how you found those ideas or how it connects you? It was
Um,
spontaneous or how was
no,
that?
not really. I have been in an abusive relationship myself years ago,
Mm,
and creativity was my only escape because
right.
I felt trapped.
Mm,
And I had one evening a week where I could paint and play my music, and that sort of kept me sane and also saved me because I felt I could not talk to anybody about it because nobody would understand. So I know it
right.
works. If you cannot find words,
Right.
creativity can still help you to express how you feel.
Mm-hmm.
And that's sort of always stuck at the back of my mind that I wanted to do something with that. But you know how it is with ideas, they just are there. And sometimes it takes a very long time for them to develop into something else.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I think that's the connection. I know it works. And I always wanted to work with children, but in the Netherlands, I sort of got stuck in the safety of my job until I thought, okay, if I don't do it now,
Mm-hmm.
then I will never ever do it because I was already 55 when I moved here. But
Yeah.
I have to tell you, people say you're very brave. Yes, it was scary as hell, but I'm so glad I did it.
Yes, as you mentioned that you moved to the new place, new country with new people all around you at the age of 55. Yes, it's a big step. So when we are talking about your move to a new place, how you found, as you shared about your trauma, you shared the mechanism or escape by your creativity. So what led you to take such big steps to find altogether new place and finding the purpose in your life?
Um, well, I moved here for love. At least that's what I thought. We had a 6 year long distance relationship, but when I actually came here, he didn't really welcome me. And after 3 weeks, I found out he was seeing other people as well. So I said, okay, I'm done. I don't want to do that. So I moved out of his house into a very crappy place on a mountaintop with
Mhm.
rats and termites and birds and whatever. But I already fell in love with the island. I mean, the people are really nice. The island is beautiful. It's so amazing. I mean, we have rivers, valleys,
Mhm.
waterfalls, you name it. So I decided to stay and see what life had to offer me. And then because of the hurricane, it was like pieces of a puzzle fell together. I could see the need of people to express how they felt. I
Right.
did a series of workshops with International Medical Corps about psychological first aid. And so many people shared their story of what they went through during the hurricane and how it affected them. And I mean, some stories are unimaginable, like your
Right.
whole family sits on a countertop for 5 hours, on a kitchen countertop for 5 hours because the rest is flooded, and well, all sorts of stories. So yeah, it sort of clicked like there's something I can do here. And even though I'm not a trained therapist or a creative therapist, I have a big heart.
Right.
And children seem to naturally gravitate towards that. They feel how you are
Mhm.
as a person, not because of the way you look. Of course, I look very different. and they all want to touch my freckles. And some boy asked me, Miss, do you think your skin will ever be my color? I said, I don't think so. But and they're all like, why do you have green eyes and we all have brown eyes and stuff like that? But in general, I mean, at the end of the first session of each program, they all come and hug me. And uh, yeah, there's like a real connection, especially with young children. It's really easy to
Yeah.
connect.
Right.
And I see that the program lets children make small steps. Some come
Mm-hmm.
out of their shell a little more, others are less troublesome in class. Last week, there was a little girl who had trouble feeling that she was special. So I helped her along. So those are little steps, but for them, it's like a big step. And I think the main thing of our program is that
Mm-hmm.
they feel I see them and I hear them, not what their background is, but as a person, because we all want that, right?
Right. Yes, that's true. And that, like when you're talking about this Hurricane Maria, which came in 2017, and it really, as I was reading and I'm recalling that it in the particular Caribbean area, it destroyed a lot of areas and a lot of devastation in Ireland. All.
Mm-hmm.
So when we are talking about it, it's really heart wrenching, but you founded your own foundation and you write a lot. So, in your foundation, what kind of, uh, as you mentioned about the kids program and all, but how you connect with those kids, how you find in your foundation to share or spread those connection or positivity?
Well, we have a different theme every session. We teach them about gratitude because
Mhm.
there's always something to be grateful for. It can be really small. It can be your dog wagging its tail when it sees you in the morning, or your mom making your favorite breakfast.
Right.
We also teach them that everybody is different, but that makes the world beautiful.
Mhm.
Because last week we had a poem about if all crayons would be the same color, how dull that would be. We also, well, like Mother's Day is coming up here, so we'll address that, Christmas, Valentine's Day, but especially values like gratitude. I'm happy because what makes me happy? So do more of what
Mhm.
makes you happy. Dream as big as you possibly can. We did a session on what do I want to do when I grow up, and we had presidents and surgeons, and but also a massage therapist and a nail tech, and it doesn't matter as long as they dream about what they want, because school is very sticking to the curriculum here, and I fully understand that because of Hurricane Maria and COVID. They're trying to catch up with the curriculum because schools were closed here and not everybody has Wi-Fi at home. So it was really
Mhm.
difficult when schools were closed. So there's no time to actually allow children to do that. I mean, teachers do a really amazing job here, but it's very tight schedule-wise.
Mhm.
So I try to give them freedom. And in my last session, in my last program, there was a boy who would always do when, let's say, I gave him an image and he would cut it up into pieces and stick it upside down. And other children would laugh at him, but I told them, no, there's really famous painters like Picasso who did really strange paintings, but people still love him. Everybody is different. And if that's how he likes to do it, that's fine. So I encourage children in the way they express themselves, because I think
Mhm.
that's really important. And
Yeah.
especially the really young ones, like 6 and 7 year olds, if there's something going on in their home, um, they don't even know how they feel about it. So how can you express how you feel? But you can make a drawing or whatever to um, have an outlet for your feelings.
Right.
I also try to incorporate a poem about a certain subject because it's easy to read for children. A whole
Mhm.
story is usually long and they get I mean, their attention span is really short. But
Mhm.
we include a poem about the theme, and then I just let them free in creating what they want to create. We have crayons, coloring pencils, sometimes felt, glitter glue. Glitter glue is one of the favorite objects.
Mhm.
Stickers, paper, scissors, and then they just start and dive in with 100% enthusiasm.
Mhm. Yeah, those are really interesting way, the way you connect children for with themselves, what way they would like to see themselves, would like, what the way they would like express or think about themselves. It's very important, as you mentioned. I think in the same way, you are a very good writer, and you published your book is Unboxable. So
It's not published yet. It's I'm still writing it, but hopefully by the end of the year it will be published.
I was reading few stories through your blog about this. I think the book you are writing and compiling all those stories, and those are very interesting. So I just would like you to share maybe few words, or maybe some summarized way, a few stories with our audience as well.
Sure. Well, the book is about my life and how I always felt I never fitted in.
Mhm.
I remember when I was 3 years old, my mom took me to a toy store, and I was allowed to pick out a toy, and I chose a really big black doll, and I named him Jimmy. And the girls in my neighborhood said, I don't want an ugly doll like that. But I felt really proud. And that's where it all started. I was teased in school for being too white in a white country, for having good grades, for not being able to be as sporty as other children. So I always felt like, I'm different than everybody else. And I developed a technique of pleasing people because I wanted people to like me. And as a child, you're very adaptable. So you sort of maneuver yourself, okay, if I do that for everybody, they might like me.
Right.
But the older I got, the more I realized it's like when you wear a cardigan of really itchy wool. The more
Mhm.
you wear it, the more itchier it becomes, and eventually you will just want to take it off.
Mhm.
Um, well, long story short, uh, I ended up in Dominica, and for some reason I fit in here, even though my skin is very noticeable and my hair is blonde, so people notice me here. But yeah, I feel at home here. I cannot even explain that. So I was at a conference last year and somebody used the term unboxable. I was like, yes, that's me. You cannot put me in a box. You cannot stick a label on me. I am not the norm, especially not in the Netherlands. But it doesn't matter. Everybody is unique. And
Mhm.
in my book, I'm going to dedicate one chapter about all the encounters I have with men here,
Mhm.
which are sometimes bizarre and really, really funny. Men always have something to say to me if I walk in the street. They always say, I mean, I had two boys come up to me, ask me if I needed protection. I think I've had 100 marriage proposals already. Like people just pass me by in a car and say, "Hey, lady, I want to marry you." So those things are really funny, and I think readers will love to read about that. But the
Mhm.
ultimate message is it's never too late to make changes in your life if you're unhappy with the life you have.
Right.
And I would not advise everybody to uproot their life and move to a different continent. Definitely not. But you can also think about what really makes me happy. What makes my heart sing when I wake up in the
Mhm.
morning and think, yes, I'm going to do this today or that today. And it doesn't matter whether it's gardening or knitting sweaters or, but do what makes you happy because life is so short already.
Right. Right, that's a beautiful way to explain or to share with our audience and our viewers what way we should see our life, and especially hearing all, it's bringing me about our current scenario when we are in global pandemic. People are having all those difficulties, stress, isolation. So coming back on this current scenario, how you find, or how the way you can share how the people should behave, or they can create their life the way they would like to see.
Um, well, I think for one, you have to be honest to yourself because,
Mhm.
and it's not always easy because you have to admit, okay, where I am now is not really making me happy. But I stay there because it's an income or because of the children or because I mean, there can be many reasons. But in the end, um, you're giving away the power of your own happiness to other people. And that's not good. You have to be in charge of your own happiness. I learned that the hard way. If you give somebody else the key, when they mess up, you get to suffer, but you cannot blame them because you gave them the power to do that. And
Mhm.
sometimes that means radical changes, yes. But so first, be honest with yourself. Secondly, take the time to reflect on what makes you happy. It's not
Right.
like within one day you think, oh, yes, this is what I like to do. No, it took me years
Mhm.
to figure out what I want to do, and then another few years to actually put it in place. But every step you take towards that will make you a little bit happier. So take time to reflect, meditate, just sit down, take a walk in nature if you can. I know there are restrictions with the pandemic at the moment, but in general, give
Mhm.
yourself time to reflect on that. Write in a journal or make a collage. That usually helps me, just bringing images together and make a collage of how you want your life to look. And the more you do that, the more you feel, because I think it's a feeling about what makes your heart sing, what makes you happy to do every day. And
Mhm.
then what I learned is that the better you know what makes you happy, resources and people show up in your life that can help you do that. I found somebody who built the website for my nonprofit foundation for free. And she
Mhm.
said, I love your project so much. We'll make it the most wonderful website you have ever seen. And I'm really proud of how it looks. And she didn't charge me anything because normally it's very expensive to have a website built. So,
Right.
um, and even here locally, people say, oh, I can help you with this or I can help you with that. And it can be really small things. What I also found, and I wrote a blog about it, is acknowledge all the little miracles that you encounter every day or every week. Last
Right.
year, I started a gratitude jar.
Mhm.
Um, and because if you live your life and you're busy doing your job and groceries and whatever, you forget the
Mhm.
little things that happen to you. So now I have next to me a little piece of paper every day. And when something really nice happens, I write it down, I put it in a jar. And at the
Right.
end of the year, I read it all back. And there's so
Mhm.
many things to be grateful for. From the
Yes.
person who says, hey, it's raining, come, hop in, I'll take you home. To somebody says, oh, I made too much soup. You can come and get some if you want to. So,
Right.
yeah, I think those are the steps that really helped me find what I like doing the most.
Mhm. And when we are coming on your organization, on your foundation, and your work, what way you feel, or you find that people should connect, or they can help or support your purpose or mission?
Um, Well, I'm hoping to be able to do more sessions, more programs. I'm currently doing one program because I still have a paid job
Right.
because everybody at the foundation volunteers.
Mm-hmm.
Um, People can sponsor a child or donate money. At the
Right.
moment, it is 35 US dollars for
Right.
one child to do the full program, including all the materials and food, because we also feed the children, because some children come to school with no breakfast and no snack.
Right.
That's really sad in a country where there's so much produce. And I mean, they could spread the word about the foundation, share it with friends or networks, or
Mhm.
I mean, of course, money is important. Money makes the
Yes.
world go round. But the more
Right.
people know about it, the more chance we have of people actually
Yeah.
donating
Yeah.
money
We
to
can
help
develop
one more
more.
child.
We can contribute more. Yes, exactly.
Yes,
And
yeah.
when we are talking about all this, what way do you feel the platform like this, Women Dialogue, is important?
Well, I think in general, I have not seen all of the interviews, but I've seen quite some, and I think everyone has something amazing to share from their own point of view. And I think the
Mhm.
general idea is that, especially in this time in the world, more and more people are discovering how important it is to do what makes you happy, and that it can be scary to take a new step, but it's also worth it because you grow as a person, and that shows on the outside how you feel on the inside. So it's amazing to see all these women talk about their lives and what they've been through and how they overcame things and what they're doing at the moment. It's
Mhm.
to me, it's very inspiring because sometimes you think, I've never thought of that. Oh, that's amazing. So, yes, I love the platform.
Thank you. And last but not least, what way you would like audience to get message from your life journey, from your work, and all?
Um, my message is it's okay to be you. Don't change anything about you unless you feel you need to change. Don't let anybody else tell you you have to change. But
Right.
by the most important thing is listen to your heart. Your heart tells you what makes you happy, and that's the most important thing. And the rest will come.
Wonderful. That's a really powerful message. And uh, once again, thank you so much for sharing all knowledge and wisdom and your life experiences for us, for our audience, and I believe same time for coming generations who will get benefit by listening and watching us. So thank you for sharing. It's a great pleasure to have you today.
Thank you so much, Shashi, for having me. It was really nice talking to you.
And thank you to all our viewers. If you would like to hear more women voices and part of Women Dialogues, please connect with us. Please share, subscribe, and like. And thank you. See you in the next episode. And don't forget to check the Marieke work, and her details are available in the description as well. See you next time. Till then, take care. Bye bye.